Good morning, math models. Okay, Mr. Mitchell has a mask on this morning. I'm just going to show you quickly and anonymously that there are people in the room. Okay, room full of people. You guys see yourself? All right, good. So I'm making a video. I would appreciate a quiet environment so that folks can hear me at home. And if I talk at this level, can you guys hear me okay? Okay, because I've got the nerd muffs on and I can't really hear my own voice too well. All right, so I'm going to take my picture away. Good morning and welcome. And yes, Adam, I can hear you. Okay, we're talking about the central tendency of data, right? This is like some fancy term. But central, what does central mean? It means the middle. Okay? And tendency, what does the tendency mean? Okay, so these are like the middle trends in data. How to describe the middle of your data. And we did this morning with our texting times by team. So people sent a text, excuse me, people sent a text, they timed it, and then we took an average time for a team, and it ranged from 25 seconds to 51 seconds per team. So that middle number, that mean, describes where the middle of our data is. And there's more than one way to describe the middle of data. I'm going to show you a couple of others. Here's a really helpful tip. At the top, go ahead and put your name. If I find one in the room, I will get it back to you. And then I didn't do this in high school, but I learned to date my notes. So put today's date at the top. Today in class is the 22nd, but some people are going to see this tomorrow. If I ever have to go back and review for a test, I can put them in date order and I can kind of get my sequence down. Okay, so let me give you the topics here. The top left, we are going to do the term, and this is from statistics, the mean, and that's going to go in my top left. In top right, we'll go the median. It is another way, an alternate way to describe the middle of your data. Okay, and I'm going to go to these boxes down below. This one is going to say mode, M-O-D-E. Are you guys caught up? Am I going too fast? Mode. Mode is a statistical term. I'm putting like colons after these for a definition. And then my favorite part of like notes in math is when somebody gives me a real example. So I will have my example down here and you will have your own, and I'll tell you what we're doing there when we get to it. So a little real statistics from your world. Okay. So I will now return to the mean in the top left, and I'm going to zoom in so we're kind of looking at this quadrant top left. All right. Mean, well, what it really means is to take an average. You, for the rest of your life, you will hear people interchange the word mean and the word average. And an arithmetic average works this way. You sum all of the numbers that you have to work with, sum all of the numbers, and divide by the number of values that you have. Divide by the number of values. So some people can look at a written definition and get some sense out of it, but me, I am a visual person, and so I am going to write a series of numbers here. Here I go. Here's my series of numbers. 4, 7, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 6, 5. We will now calculate the mean of these. And we practiced a little bit of this last week. We looked up the definition for these terms, and then we practiced doing means at least. So if this is my sequence of numbers, and notice they're not in any particular order, not large to small or small to large. Now we can just add them up in any sequence that we want. So I'm going to do it. 4 plus 7 plus 4, etc. Okay. It's important to know how many I have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. I was successful in writing down all 9. So I add up all the numbers, and then I divide by the number of figures that I have, the number of values. Okay, so we're getting to the bottom of our box here. So if I want the mean, it comes to a total of 36 divided by 9. That's what those numbers add up to. 36. What is 36 divided by 9? 4. Very good. The mean of this data series is 4. And if I want a symbol, this is the most common symbol I have seen. They will take an X and put a bar over it. And in statistical language, this is the mean, X with a bar. Okay, so we did practice this some last week. I'm sorry if this is very familiar to you. You add up all the values and divide by the number of values that you have. So let's look at one that has been probably mentioned in your past, but it's been a minute. So I'm going to go to this top right quadrant here, and we're going to write down some text for the median. The median means literally the middle. And it's not just like mathematically the middle, it's the geographic middle of your data. So let's see. It's the number in a set of data. So you have a list, essentially. The number in a set of data, comma, listed in order. Which falls exactly in the middle. Okay, I'll leave it there for just a second. Thanks for your patience. The median is literally the middle of your data. It's different than the mean. It doesn't have a calculation to discover it. But you reorder your data in sequence. I like to use from smallest to largest. That helps me. So that's kind of like step 1. Draw that with a circle. Step 1, reorder your data. And you have to write these out in the sequence on paper to put them in order. So let's look at this list over here. I have a number 1, so I'm going to put that on the left. And I'm just going to put them in order. I see a 2 and a 3. 4 comes up more than once over here. I see 3 of those. So it's each a separate entry for 4. And then I see a 5, a 6, and a 7. So we're using the same data set. We've now reordered it from smallest to largest. And watch what happens here. There's no calculation for the median. It's a physical move, it's the geographic center of these data. So I'm going to say, well, it's not going to be the smallest and it's not going to be the largest. I'm going to mark them out one by one, working towards the middle. It's not this one. It's not 6, not 2 or 6. It's not 3 or 5. I'm working towards the middle. There's a 4 and a 4. I can pair those when I cross them out. It is this number in the middle. That is the physical middle of the data. And so our median for this same data set is also 4. But it's rare that you have a mean and a median that are the same. This is for demonstrations. This measure is less sensitive to very large or very small numbers. So if it went 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 6, 10 million, we would not be using 10 million in our average, and our median would still be 4. Okay. There's a special case. If I cross out and I get to an even number of data values and there are 2, if 2 data values are left in the middle, you average them. So you add them together and divide by 2. If I had come to 2 numbers in the middle, like I crossed out big, small, big, small, big, small, and it's an even number, there was 2 in the middle, then I would just take the average of 2. And this will come up in your exercise today. Take the average of 2 figures if that is the middle of your data. We're halfway done, guys. How are we doing? We're fair? All right. I'm going to move down to the bottom left. And we're going to do the mode. And the mode is a count of the most frequently occurring data. So once again, we have the same list of data. We're going to count which data point occurs most frequently in the set of data. So just so you can see it live in front of you, 4, 7, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 6, 5. What number appears most in this set of data? Yes. The mode is 4. And I'm not super comfortable with the name. It doesn't really give me any context. Like I know what a mode is when I change a game mode. I don't know where it got applied to math. I wish I did. But you just look over your data set, and you can use spreadsheets to do this also. 4, well, there's one here. There's 3 of them. So I need to just account for any number that occurs more than once and what is most frequent. It is okay to have no mode. Some data sets do not have one. To have no mode. And people just usually write none. If every data point in a set is a single number, nothing repeats, then you just have none for a mode. You don't have anything that repeats. And I'm going to show you a little graphic here at the bottom that I think really, really helps. It's a number line. And we first did these back in September. number lines are very helpful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They don't have to be measured with a ruler. You can do them by hand. I think they're very handy to help me think. So I can take a data set like this and put it into a dot plot. A dot plot helps. Let me show you. I have one value of 1. We looked at one of these last week. I have one value of 2, one value of 3, but it changes when I get to 4. I have 1, 2, 3. This is just another way to visualize data. And if we'd done this back in the fall with shoe size, we would have had a mode. We had some shoe measurements that were repeated. Hey, Christian. That's all right. Christian, I am live with a video, just so you know. The most common number here is 4, and now I can visualize it. This tells me this is the mode because we stacked them up one above the other. So a dot plot helps. I'm going to leave that too. Dot plot helps. Okay. Let's look at some real data. So this is my example. You guys just watch me for a minute because I want you to try this for your own household. Okay, I'm going to take the age of every member in my household and I'm going to use it as a data set. Okay, so there's me. I'm 46 years old. There's my wife. She's also 46. My son is 12. I've got a pretty old dog. She's 15. There's dog number 2. And that dog is 2 years old. And then we have a cat who is 7. Okay? So this is my data set. And my question is, can I use statistics to get an average to do the central tendency for the data for my household? Sure, of course I can. So I'm waking up a calculator, if it'll work. I'm going to need to take the mean, which means add up all the numbers and divide. So guess how much the sum total is going to be, or try it in your head. With a 46 and a 46, that would be kind of big. It's helpful in math to guess. Classic moment. Can you hold on for just a couple minutes? We're almost done with an example. I want you guys to try this for your own household. Come on, Pooper. Yeah, you would have to add, and it's a little tedious, as you guys found last week. So I'm going to say add up my numbers. I mean, I just watched me on this, so I recommend you do the household that you're in. You might have more people, more pets. 40. My dog is 15 years old. Yeah, she's an old hound dog. 15, 2, and 7. Okay, that comes to 128. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I divide that by 6. Okay, so if I was going to look at the central tendency for my household, my average age is 21.3. Awesome, thank you. My unit is years because these are ages. So I'm looking at the central tendency of data from my house. Well, this is kind of odd, 21.3. Nobody has 21 years in the house. 46, 46, 12, 15, 2, 7. This is the central mean for the people and animals that are in my house. Adam, I would count the chickens, but I don't know how old they are. They're pretty young. Okay, my median. Well, I've already got them in series. I guess I could I liked working small to large. That helps me. So I will go 2, then 7, 12, 15, and then there's my wife and I at 46 and 46. So here's an example of what happens when you have an even number. I mark out the biggest and the smallest, second smallest, second biggest. I'm working towards the middle. These two numbers I will use to do my my median. But I have to do an average. 12 plus 15 divided by 2. This will be the median calculation. Let's see. 12 plus 15 is 27. Bless you. 37. Okay. So the median age in my household is 13.5 years. Here's the mean. They both describe the middle of the data in different ways. The median is not as sensitive to large numbers. So 46 is a lot bigger than 7. If you consider that there's, 4 creatures in the house, including my son, that are less than 15 or 15 or less, yeah, it's dominated by people that are less than 15. It's not surprising that my median comes to a number less than my mean because of the spread of the data. And then mode, what number is most frequently found in my data set? Yeah, I have 46 and 46. So my mode, I can just look at that occurs most frequently. And it tells me that 46 is a driving factor in my data. I have 2 values and they're kind of high. Okay, we have reached the end. Now, try the members of your household. And I'll give you guys about, 5 minutes or so. Try to find the mean, the median, and the mode for the members of your household while I walk around. We didn't have children until we were in our 30s. So my hypothesis is you guys have, if your parents are younger, you will have a lower mean in your house. Mine is like 21.3. I'm guessing yours could be lower. Try the members of your household for mean, median, and mode. Crew on the video, I'm going to stop there. I will post a key of this in the Google Classroom. It will always be there. If we have a test come up, you may use this as a reference on any document at home. Hello to Savannah and Isaiah. You guys have a good rest of your day.